Well, hello. Welcome back to Stay at Home Yoga. Today we're going to whip out the last second chakra poses. Be sure to refer to my first set of videos so you can get those good stretches in the sacral chakra pose rim, because these other poses are a bit more gnarly and you don't want to just dive right into them. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the fire log pose. Sit down in a comfortable upright position, but not for long. The trick of the fire log pose is to place your left shin on top of your right shin. Go ahead and root down slightly with your body as you move the left leg over. And then you kind of want to lengthen your spine. Push your arms out to the side. Breathe in. Hold it. The trick is to sit up straight, lean forward slightly. You're going to feel a bit of a stretch in the hips. Some people's flexibility will be better than others, so you're more than welcome to use a little blanket prop to make it more comfortable for you. And don't stress if your shins aren't perfect. And like all your poses, imagine your chakras working your way up. Red, orange, yellow, green, heart chakra. Your throat chakra is light blue. Your third eye is an indigo color, and then boom into the crown. Go ahead and relax. Pop out of the pose. The pose is good for flexibility, and it kind of helps with people that might have second chakra blockages. Don't stress out if you can't do it perfectly. The more you do it, the better you'll get. I've got to go to my little directory here because it helps me stay on track. Next, we're going to do the standing forward fold. Now, some people don't have the greatest flexibility in their legs, so don't stress out if you can't 100% do this pose. Keep your feet down, level with your hips. You don't want to have them straight together. Don't stress out about having the legs 100% straight because you don't want to hyperextend your legs. This one's the standing forward fold. When we go down, we're going to put our hands out to the side. We're going to breathe, inhale as we go down, and then when you exhale, push into the stretch a little farther, kind of get your head in between your legs, and just hold the pose, find your edge, but don't go too far into the edge because I don't want you to hurt yourselves. All right, stand up straight, breathe in, slowly go down. And breathe out.
More costumes.
Holding the stretch.
More costumes.
My palms are down on the ground as far as I can get them. My legs are not 100% straight. Exhale and slowly come out of the pose. Of course, that one's really good for flexibility too. You want to be careful with some of those poses if you have blood pressure issues. It can make you dizzy in the head, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. So, of course, every yoga pose comes with a set of caution. Next, we're going to do the downward facing dog. This is just like the downward dog, but you're going to be poking the booty a bit farther out into the air and even laying your arms more flat. So let's go ahead and get into the downward dog. Have your shoulders and arms level with your hands. Spread your fingers out wide. Make sure everything's level and beautiful. Keep your hips straight with the knees. I always like to say roll your toes before you 100% lift. Roll up slow. If you're able to put your feet flat, flatten your feet. The downward dog is a great stretch. It's good for flexibility, leg muscles, and arm muscles. It's good for tightening your legs if you have some loose skin from losing weight. Don't stress out when you look at your legs and you're like, oh, good Lord, whose legs are those? Because it's going to get better. We're going to breathe in and poke the butt out a little more and even move the head down. Hold the position for as long as you can. Breathe out. Now you can't alternate from the downward dog to the downward facing dog if you're having some issues. You'll get better at it over time. And just be sure to regulate your breathing. Be comfortable. Poking the butt out, straightening the arms, pulling it. Popping back into the downward dog. One more time, breathe in. Poking that dotty way up in the air, arms straight, out a little bit. And then let it go. And then to get out of the downward dog, lower your knees slowly to the ground. Put your feet back normal, as far as they can go. Now we're going to do a deep lunge. Lunges are awesome because they're toning thigh muscles. They're stretching the legs, preparing you for even bigger and badder poses. So we're going to get back into the downward dog.
That's good.
Make sure you're all straight and beautiful. Breathe in. Downward dog position. Now we're going to grab our left leg out to our side. Go slow. Take your time. Now go ahead and lower down a little bit because you want your right leg to be flat because it is a lunge. You are using balance here, leg muscles, concentration. Breathe in. Hold it. Think about water flowing. Breathe out. Now if you can't maintain balance, don't stress out if you're going to fall over. That happens sometimes during yoga, but by all means, make sure there's no objects around you that you're going to get hurt with. Take your time, find your edge, but be safe. We're going to do it on the other side. Downward dog position. Make sure everything is straight and beautiful. Breathe in. Roll the toesies. Up, up, and away. Now remember, we're going to bring the right leg in. Keep it straight and level. We're laying the left leg flat. It's a little awkward, a little uncomfortable. We're putting our arms up, flowing like water. And then hold it. Feel good. Feel the stretch. Think about your stretch. Maintain balance. You can root down with your foot to help with your balance. Your knee is making contact too. Just take your time. Have fun. Now this is one of my favorite poses. It's called the lizard pose. Now your flexibility might not be exactly where you want to be yet to do the lizard pose, but for some reason, for me, it came naturally. And I think it's because it focuses in on the reptilian part of your brain, which is more primal. So go ahead and whip out your left leg like we did with the lunge. Go slow. You're going to have your left arm level with your left foot. Put the right arm beside it. Slowly lay your right leg down flat. Look forward. Steady your gaze. Hold the pose. Think about lizards. Go down on the elbow. Alright, so I didn't instruct that pose very well. We should probably do that again. And to start off on the knees. Breathe in. Go down slowly. You're going to be adjusting your left leg to the side. Remember your left arm is level with the foot. Go slow. And you're going all the way down. And that's what makes it awkward because some people aren't going to have that flexibility to whip out the leg to the side like this. So like always, find your edge. That's why those first stretches are important because you're doing this outrageous lizard stretch. So look forward, steady your gaze. Your elbows are pushing down into the mat. You're feeling a gnarly stretch in your hips, your right thigh that's laying down flat. Steady your gaze, relax. Alright. And see, that was good because yoga isn't always perfect and we can learn from what we are doing. Ooh, I found a chakra crystal. My lucky die. Alright, we're going to do it on the opposite side. Put the right leg out. Go slow. Remember, some people's flexibility is going to be better than others. Put your right hand and elbow down. Put the left arm and elbow down next to it. Keep the left knee rooted down. And remember, you're going to have a gnarly stretch in the thighs and steady your gaze forward. Think about lizards. To the right, to the left. No. You don't want to move around too much weirdly when you're doing yoga because you can throw out your back and neck. Now very slowly come up with your hands. Get your arm back. Take your time. That's a more advanced pose, so if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. Maybe skip to the next pose. Now we're going to do the open leg child's pose to the hanging cobra. This one's always very invigorating. The child's pose is awesome. We're down on our knees. We're spread out. Our little feeties are under our buttocks. Put your arms flat in front of you. Your elbows are straight with the shoulders. Breathe in. It's a good little stretch. We're not throwing a fit here. We're relaxing. Now, for the hanging cobra, we're going to slowly move up from our elbows to our hands. We're straightening the arms, and as we rotate, we're coming up on our knees, and then rotate the feet back. You're pushing down with your pelvic area. You can get a head rush with this pose, so take your time. It can be very invigorating. Straighten your feet a bit, straighten the arms, steady your gaze. And it's called the hanging cobra for a reason. It's uncomfortable, but you're doing magic right here. Okay, breathe out. Go a little faster this time. We're going up. Alright, so we're sitting down in the child's pose. Elbows are flat. Legs are sprawled. Toesies are touching. Breathe in. Lift up slowly from the elbows to the palms of the hands. Breathe in. Keep your feeties together. Now, if you're feeling a pull in your hips, you don't want to dislocate your hips. Feel the rush into the head. Remember, it's the hanging cobra for a reason. You are hanging. And it feels good. It's very invigorating. Alright. Last but not least, we're going to do the pigeon pose. There's a lot of variations of the pigeon pose, and I'm really not where I want to be yet on it, but I'm going to keep going. And one of these days, I hope I can put the back of my feet on the back of my head. So, hopeful thinking, maybe one day I can get there. You know, I'm still kind of a beginner myself. I've been doing it under a year. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to be adjusting our left hip off to the side while the right leg is laying straight. It's an awkward pose. If you feel uncomfortable, you might want to skip it and go ahead and do your closing of the second chakra. So we're going to start in the knee position. Slowly adjust your left leg out to the side and then put your right leg down flat. Now you can do the downward dog and work yourself into this position, but we're going to kind of try to make it a little easier for folks because it's the beginning. So put your left leg out sprawled underneath you, and then the right leg is laying flat awkwardly. And then you put your arms out to your side and steady your gaze. You're going to feel a pull in your right hip. It's a great stretch. Now really you're supposed to get better over time. You know, this is one of the variations. Really, you're supposed to be able to put the foot to the back of the head without holding it, and then there's just so many variations, and then put both arms up into the air. You'll get better over time. We'll do it on the other side, but do it with the downward dog. Remember to look pretty. Keep everything even. Legs lined up with the knees and shoulders lined up with the hands. Roll the little toesies. So we're doing it on the opposite side. Move the